Hi, I'm Jasmine, and this is Lady Cloth U, where I share dressmaking tips and tutorials, show you my original pattern designs as well as how to create them, give you behind the scenes look at my dressmaking and alterations business with a sprinkle of fashion history. If that sounds like something you're into, be sure to tap the subscribe button. Now let's get started. We have the pattern pieces laid out here parallel to the selvage. These are very large pieces, so you want to make sure you have a lot of space to lay these out properly. Sometimes when you're laying out the skirt pattern, you'll notice that there's every now and then a corner of it that just doesn't quite catch it. I usually separate those pieces, add a little bit of a 1/2 inch seam allowance to each of the sides, and then cut out that additional piece to make sure. And it just leaves like a small seam there, just in case you don't have enough space to get all of the corners. And then this is just me cutting out the pattern. Anytime you do these skirt patterns, it usually requires you to really get down on the floor and cut all these pieces out. Next is just me showing you guys the importance of clipping those notches that are in correspondence with the size of your skirt. And this is what it looks like when all the pieces are cut out. This is my front fully open, my side, and my back. And this is just one side of the skirt. Obviously, you need to cut out those additional other side and side back pieces to get the full skirt. And this is just what it looks like. I'm going to go in 5/8 and sew all my pieces closed. Now my skirt is going to be unlined, therefore I'm going to finish off my seams with a serger. This is going to be the top of your skirt, and we're going to prepare it for gathering. So you're going to need to take it to the machine and do 2 rows of stitches in order to get that gathering stitch. So I'm going to do my first about a 1/2 inch down, and I'm going to do about a 1/4 inch down from that. And those are what's going to be my gathering stitches. Now this is totally optional. I'm adding this sort of floral motif to my skirt just at the bottom. So in order to do that, I'm going to be using my soldering iron to just cut out a couple of these floral patterns. So once I'm done getting all the floral pieces that I want for my skirt, I'm going to go ahead and just interface the back of it just so it's a little bit more sturdy and solid. So I'm going to take all my pieces and interface them with a lightweight fusible interfacing. So here's what it looks like when all my floral motifs have been cut out using the soldering iron and just gently interface, and they're just a little bit more sturdy and they allow for easier application onto the skirt. And this is also my waistband that I have cut out and added another lightweight fusible interfacing to it and folded it in half. So this is the top of the skirt. I've gathered everything together just under that waistband that I created. So this is what that looks like. I've pinned everything down after I've gathered it. So this is just what, again, that just looks like with it attached to the waistband. When you're applying it to the waistband to the skirt, you want to make sure you go in about 5/8 and then start to attach the skirt, and you're going to learn why for a reason. You want to leave just a little bit of the waistband out for you, so that way when it's time to finish it off, you have that space for the finishing. So that's, you're going to go in with your machine and sew just under that last row of stitching. And that's what it looks like. I've gone to my sewing machine, and now I'm going to fold it down again about 5/8. And there's 2 options here. Either you can go with your machine and just do a top stitch, and you'll have just a very small line of stitching. Obviously it's a lot quicker than what I'm doing, or you can do what I like to do and do a hand stitch that is more invisible and you wouldn't see it on the other side of the waistband, which is what I'm choosing to do. So this is just me pinning down that waistband and sealing off the gathering stitches that you see here to finish off our waistband. pressing is important, so once you're done with that, you're going to gently press your waistband down. And now we're just finishing off that waistband. Again, you can choose to do it by hand or by machine. I'm choosing to do it by hand using the prick stitch. If you decide to use it by machine, as you can see, I did it this way because I didn't like the stitches to be shown on the other side. If you decide to use the machine, you can always go in with a stitch length of about 3 and just make a nice and neat top stitch to your waistband. Okay, this is me showing you how I add my zipper in and how I've closed off those tabs that I left for the skirt waistband. So I've just pinned my zipper into my seam. I'm going to hand stitch that and then machine sew it. And this is what the dress looks like. We don't have our finishing hem yet, but this is just what the dress looks like so far with that waistband attached and all the pieces sewn together. And this is just a shot of the back. I just want to show you guys what I did with those floor arrangements. I just took them and sort of just like sporadically placed a couple near the hem, and this is just what it looks like. You're going to pin that down, and I'm either going to just place a couple of tacks in there to kind of leave them free flowing, kind of like lily pads on a stream, or I'm just going to sew them all in place. I haven't decided yet, but I just want to show you what that looks like if you decide to do something extra and interesting with your design. So now this is just me showing you how to add the horsehair braid, and that's just to give your hem some volume. I don't know if you saw before, but it was kind of like flat, and I'm just trying to give it some volume as what a horsehair braid does. So when you apply it, you're going to apply it with the right sides facing each other. You're going to sew that down along the edge, and then you're going to flip it over like you see here. I have so many videos on how to apply horsehair braid. I'm not going to go into great detail, but then you're just going to pin it down. Again, this dress is unlined. You can choose to do a lining by just cutting additional pieces and creating that lining. Once you're done, you're going to just edge stitch that. And this is the difference that horsehair braid makes, and it just adds a lot more volume, and it makes just the hem have just a bit of a boost. You can choose not to do that and just leave it as is. So the final thing we want to do is just add our hook and closure to our skirt. This is called the bar and the clasp, and I just use this. This is the best for closing the skirt waistband, especially when it's overlapping like this. The way I do that is I just close it up, pin it down, and use a marking water-soluble marker just to mark where that placement is going to be. And I just use that to mark it down so that I know where I'm going to be placing those two separate pieces to close my skirt top of the waistband up. So this is the completed result for the Charlotte skirt, that waistband, the fullness of the skirt itself, the horsehair braid. This is a very beginner friendly, easy yet glamorous pattern that you can get started with in your dressmaking journey. I also have in my Etsy shop the bundle to the Cosette pattern with the draped sleeves and the skirt, so you can create this whole piece if you go ahead to my Etsy shop. Thank you for watching. Please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Until next time, make like a lady.